And welcome back to Thunderthon 2021. Up next is Metal Gear Solid Any Percentage, and we have House Test running the game. Let's go!
Hello, and thanks for having me. So yeah, my name is House Test. We're going to run Metal Gear Solid 1 today on the PC, which has been ported from the console version by roughly 5 people 2 years later after a re-release that was made for the consoles. And we're going to play Any Percent today. With me, I also have Nick RP Green, and I'm just going to quickly shout out, we are both world record holders, not for this category specifically, but both for alternate round. And so we know what we're talking about here. So I would say, Nick, what are we doing now? We're going to start in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Go!
All right.
This is...
So one thing you may have noticed already straight away, if you're a console runner, you may have thought, how has he just skipped that codec call? How did he do that? Well, that's because we're on the PC version, and on the PC version, you can skip codec calls. Also, loading times between cutscenes are pretty much How's you've got an alert already?
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll just
We've won free. Come on, that's fine.
It'll be fine. He's got a bit of time to wait for the elevator to turn up. So you'll just make sure that he stays out of sight. The evasion will disappear, and then it's going to be fine. Just be careful because there's another. He's done.
Damn it! What's happening?
What are you, House? What are you doing?
This never happened before. I swear. I'm so sorry. We're literally going for Big Boss. Oh. Wait, this is not easy. This is not extremely easy.
and he's got it again. I don't understand what's happening. Why are you doing this? What are you doing?
Well, basically, we have 2 minutes time while the credits roll in this room here, and that's good for us because we can just walk around and hopefully escape from the guy. He's like very much on my feet in order to get a lot of alerts, and this will be key later in the run because we need 11 alerts when we go down to grab the PAL key again. And while we're here in the docks, we can literally just waste the 2 minutes of time that the credits run, because it doesn't matter if we have alerts or not. The game won't slow down. The elevator will still arrive as long as the credits roll after 2 minutes.
It was all a ruse. He knew what he was doing all along.
Yes, of course. Who do you think they invited here?
Should be good. There is the Jeremy Blaustein credit, which means it's time to get moving.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time left, but it was not enough really to get an alert. So I'm currently on 5. We have tools here that tell us how much we have. And if I'm short by 1, we found out a new trick where just before we grab the PAL key again, we get extra alerts basically for free. So no worries if I'm a little bit off here.
So down comes the elevator. And the interesting thing about guard line of sight here is they don't really look up and down. So they really do just look straight across.
Yeah, it's like one big plane.
And can't really look down at you, so you're quite free to just run in front of that guard. He's not gonna be a problem. So like we said at the very front, the PC version, loading screens, codecs, all skippable, so we can mash through all of this very, very quickly. So now House is going to sneakily, okay, maybe not sneakily.
This is a speedrun, sir. We don't have time to be slow.
So this is actually a new strap that got developed for Any Percent very recently. The community discovered a new trick, and in order to use that new trick effectively on Any Percent, we need to make sure that we've got 2 weapons. So House now has chaff grenades and stun grenades. Originally, we used to just grab the chaff grenades and make a beeline for the vent that he just went through. But instead, House took a left turn, grabbed some stun grenades, and then made his way to the vent. I'm not gonna explain yet what it is that does, because it'll be a bit of a surprise when it happens. We'll leave it at that.
We have a little bit of time. First, we gotta break the game in half, basically. So we are on Any Percent, and there's one very cool glitch that we can do. Basically, we are in the vent right now, but you can position yourself to an entrance to the vent, basically just skipping up. Because Snake is weird. Snake stands up where his feet are. I mean, you do that as well, right? In the real life, when you stand up, you basically want to stand on your feet. And we can use this actually to go out of bounds here very early also in the game.
What was that noise?
Throwing that chaff grenade there just to distract the guard so that he doesn't come up to the elevator and spot Snake. You can't You can't call an elevator during an alert phase, so very important not to get caught by that guard. But here we are. This is the infamous. It has a very simple name. It is just simply called the vent glitch.
Lava glitch. Whoop! Number 2. Beyblade my way around.
Too much of a spin there. You're a little overexcited there, House.
There we go. Yeah, sometimes we need to move in just a little bit further. So we basically lie down and quickly turn into the vent, but sometimes it just doesn't work. So I need to manually moving myself a little bit further. And that's it. We skipped like 25 minutes of the game.
Yep, Snake has now been captured. So if you know the game, then you'll know that we have just skipped the Ocelot fight, the M1 tank fight, the Psycho Mantis fight, the Ninja fight, and Sniper Wolf 1.
Yes. So we're just about to meet Ocelot now for the torture scene. So let me officially ask, how's the bid war going? Are we going to save Meryl, or are we going to drive into the sunset with Otacon?
Just checking, and Meryl has taken it.
All right, then we're gonna endure the torture.
85. Which does mean now saving Meryl is slightly slower, because it means that House has now got to endure a round of torture against Ocelot, which normally wouldn't be too bad. Except, House, have you beaten any bosses yet?
No.
Have you ranked up and gotten any more health upgrades yet?
Indeed I didn't, and that's quite a problem, because usually if you go the all bosses route, each boss after you fight them gives you a rank up. And rank ups also mean you can carry more items, more weapon ammunition, and also more health. But if we do any percent, I'm going to save Meryl, we have only a sliver of life, because we didn't rank up at all yet. So I cannot really fail much of the button mashing that I'm about to do. And let's see if I can make it happen. Because remember, there's no continue after this. And don't even think about using auto-aim. Or auto-fire. Auto-aim. Auto-fire.
Auto-aim's not going to do a lot for you here. Okay, so it is showtime. Ocelot is now going to ask Snake to take his position on the bed, whilst House takes his position, mashing that circle button, and as you can see by the life bar, it's really not that difficult to keep the health to max.
Yet.
Shall we go again?
Each round goes a little bit longer, as you can see by the blue bar. The good thing is we can continue healing ourselves a little bit after the torture stopped, so we can, even if we are a bit slow at the end, we can still continue a little bit after the torture to heal ourselves.
Like so.
Enough yet?
Now, luckily, because of the way that we've used the vent glitch to get straight into the medical room, straight into the prison area of the medical room, House has actually skipped the first torture sequence, and the game considers that torture sequence to have been successful. Or more, it doesn't consider that he is submitted to torture.
You're a strong man.
I should also point out for anybody who doesn't know the game and doesn't really understand what's going on, the torture section is where the game can skew off into two different endings. If you submit to torture, if you say no, I give up, I can't keep going, then Ocelot will take Meryl's life instead. So at the end of the game, Meryl will have died, and Snake must escape Shadow Moses Island with Otacon instead. But if you manage to get through the torture, you survive it, Ocelot does not take Meryl's life and you escape with Meryl instead. Which is, of course, the canon ending to this game, as Meryl does appear in Metal Gear Solid 4 as well.
Yeah, we have to say, though, it's a very sad call after we escape. Because Otacon said, "Don't worry, Snake, I can still make it, don't worry about me." And we're like, well, good luck, because you're up in 2 years again for MGS2. So yeah, we had 1 of 2 rounds. We need to endure 1 more round of this torture, and then after that we can make our way out of here. So, how about some donation readings, if we have any?
At the moment, we don't have any new donations, but we are more than happy to see if we can have a push for animal friends. So anybody has any extra change that they might feel like they could help out, we would much appreciate it for the Worldwide Veterinary Service.
Good cause. I may have influenced this vote for this bid war a little bit. make more exciting. All the money, definitely worth it.
Ocelot wants you.
So hello everyone in chat. Thank you so much for tuning up.
Okay, so torture round
I'll tell
2.
you once more.
I can feel it in my arm.
Circle button.
Technically round 3.
Technical round 3.
Technically round 3, but the game doesn't know that.
Don't tell the game, so we're good to go. Imagine, like, actually, you need to do one more round.
How did you like that? Shall we go again?
Always wait for the boot up sound. It's a small beep. If you go too early, you waste a lot of energy, and you want to keep that until the very last round. There you go. Fill it up again.
Yet? We're not finished.
If you look
yet.
very carefully, you can notice that House has got his controller on his desk to mash, and it shakes his webcam ever so slightly.
Yeah. This is the rumble for the whole table. Oh my god! Full up, full up, full up, full up, full up.
And he's
full.
clear. There we go. Torture over.
Well, that's enough for now, I think.
It's definitely swollen now.
We live in a sad age. Imperialism.
Yeah, we can skip that.
And back in the menu room once more.
Now I can relax.
Yep,
There's
now
really
we just
nothing
have
we can do.
sit and wait to be rescued. And some more codec calls. Skip them straight away. As is being asked in the chat, yes, that does now confirm Meryl has lived. Meryl survives. We escape with Meryl. And House here is just showing off that the vent glitch can be used on any crawl space where you're able to get up on top of it. So it works on the bed as well.
Yep. You can also make the game crash on the bed. Because if you fall down and try to go from prone to lying down, it actually breaks the game even further to, well, a crash.
I'm here. Where?
Okay, here is Archon here to rescue Snake.
Jeez. He's coming back.
Right? He's gonna rescue Snake. He's gonna open the door.
Archon! No!
No, Archon's just leaving him behind. Ooh,
I think it's sorry that we didn't save him.
He's left him
Yeah.
with ketchup. What's he possibly going to do with that?
Snake's so sloppy, he even put it over himself. Like, oh man, you're supposed to eat that.
He gave you that because you thought you might be hungry. Just wasted it.
What the hell?
Oh, it's a ruse!
Another one! No button mashing.
Unfortunately, this is now where the game goes non-canon. Because that guard is actually named and appears in later games. But here is the reason why House needed 2 weapons. So this is that is a brand new glitch that was only discovered about a month ago. Some call it the volcanic shuffle in honor of Volcanic Akuma, who found it. Some call it the swim glitch. And what was discovered is that as long as Snake is swapping between 2 weapons, he can maintain movement even when in a situation where you normally wouldn't be able to move. So even in those kind of cutscenes where you stop, as long as you keep mashing between 2 weapons, then you can continue to move forwards. Now, this is doable on the console version, but you'd have to keep opening the weapon menu and closing it and opening it and closing it. So it has no use on the console version of the game. However, on the PC version of the game, they decided to include weapon hotkeys. So the number keys 1 through 0 across the top of the keyboard all correspond to a different weapon. So you may have noticed that House hasn't opened his weapon menu at any point in the game so far.
Yep.
And that's because he just equips weapons by pushing buttons. Now we're going to see some more use of why this edition makes the PC version so broken. Oh,
I forgot something. I never practiced for saving Meryl, so we have a bomb in inventory, and we need to get rid of it. And I better do it now before later, because it's definitely gonna not be helpful later.
Ocelot was not very happy that you saved Meryl. They decided to put a bomb in
Very salty, dude.
So here, House has used a stun grenade to get an alert. It just means that the guards in this room all move into different positions, so he can get through a bit quicker. Because in this room, if you get spotted and you get an alert, then it's pretty much over. You need to restart the room. So that was close. That was reasonably smooth.
Yeah, this can actually be a bit faster. Time was a little bit weird, so I wanted to make sure I don't die here too early. The good thing is, though, now, speaking of health and rank ups, we're finally gonna meet Mantis and beat him, and we're done.
And that is Bookcase Boss. Yeah. We give a big round of applause for Bookcase Boss. He was a worthy foe. Oh, it's not over yet. Oh! There we go. Okay, so we said that there's another use for the weapon hotkeys, and this is it. This is what we call GME, or God Mode Exploit, and with it, it allows us to go out of bounds. How it works, and the reason you're only seeing it now is because the main weapon that it's used with is the PSG-1. So here, House has gone out of bounds, he is wrapped around to the top of the level, and then just quickly got through the underground passage. That also skips a cutscene and a codec call by doing that. Here, he's just thrown a grenade into this room to trigger an alert, which skips a cutscene. And now he's got a nice, long climb up the stairs. Now, this is going to be tricky. There are a lot of guards in this section. He's going to have to throw stun grenades at the right time. He's going to have to flip the guards. Yep. And
very difficult.
This is one of the more taxing sections of the game. Remember, he hasn't had as many rank ups as well. So, okay, he'll just breeze past the first one, who apparently just sort of failed to hit him.
What's wrong with the guards in this game? Yeah, like they don't see me at all. Are they even trying? Maybe it's the respect. They have all respect for me. I don't know. Well, you're all missing.
Now's probably a good time to say one of the other side effects of the God Mode exploit is Snake is invincible. On console, this is a very difficult climb. This section of the game does require good timing, flipping guards quickly, but on the PC version, we just go into God Mode and Snake doesn't take any damage. He just ignores them and he just runs up.
Yep.
So in order to enter GME, and it happens very quickly, so it may not be quite clear what's going on. We use the PSG-1 because when you start to equip the PSG-1, Snake does an animation where he goes to crawl onto the floor and equips the weapon. During that animation, Snake is invincible. That's why he is invincible during GME. And
got them all.
What we do is... Ah, that was nice. There was no need for that, but it looked swag.
That's what it is.
So what we do is we interrupt the animation of equipping the PSG-1, and that tricks the game into not understanding quite where Snake is now positioned. And as a result, it allows House to skip triggers. So when he went out of that door, he skipped the cutscene that was there, and that's how he was able to skip going out of. That's how he was able to go out of bounds to get around the loading triggers for the next areas.
And now for the most trickiest part, RNG. We don't want to get hit by this stupid helicopter. Sometimes we still get. So let's see how it goes. Oh, it's coming low angle, but we made it. We made it. Good.
There's a very specific route that House is taking to get down.
Let's stop it. This is what we mean. It's not too much. It's like 2 seconds or so, but still, yeah. Oh well.
The health isn't too much of an issue. It's more the time save.
Yep.
Okay, so again, here this is another tricky section of the console version, but we just GME, go invincible, and just run straight through. We don't care about these guards. They mean nothing to us. They are insignificant. Grab the Stinger launcher there. You may have noticed that was in red.
Yep. I don't need these grenades. I just want to make sure, because it's a marathon, that I don't throw accidentally too many. Or too few.
Okay, so onto an actual boss fight. This is Sniper Wolf 2. And if you're thinking, are we going to use GME to skip this fight? You're absolutely right. And that Sniper Wolf too.
I'm a godgamer, dude. Like, all of these bosses, they didn't stand a chance. I don't even see them. I'm so fast.
So what House did there, by going into GME, it allowed him to not trigger. There's a barrier at the top of that fight where if you normally run into it, where Wolf will just shoot you no matter what position she's in, she will just shoot you back. But by going into GME, we're able to skip triggering that barrier, and then also by using the swim glitch, so quickly swapping between two weapons, we can maintain Snake's movement going forwards to just skip on through to the final section. So here, House is again use GME.
There we go.
Just kick the guards over the railing, or flip them over the railing just to get through that section nice and quickly.
Yep.
In all bosses, when you've got access to C4 and the Stinger launcher, there's a really cool method of getting through that even quicker. But unfortunately, we don't have access to those weapons.
Yeah, because we still need to rank up, and we have had only one with Mantis, and that is not enough to actually use the Stinger that we already picked up.
The way ammunition works in this game is that you don't have access to any ammunition for a lot of weapons until you've beaten the right boss. So at this moment in time, whilst House has picked up the Stinger launcher, he can't use it. Because he needs to have beaten no, it's not Psycho Mantis. He needs to have beaten Sniper Wolf 1 in order to use the Stinger and get the correct amount of ammunition for it. So House is just sort of doing a bit of funky stuff with equipping and unequipping the...
That was interesting. Usually we want to skip this cutscene, like this codec call, by going into GME. But if you mess it up at the end and go to normal again, the call will still happen just about the end. Still skipped it technically, so there we go.
So this is actually the first boss of the game we actually fight. We still use GME to go invincible, so it's a bit trivial, and all it is House is just having to time his grenade throws well, so that the grenade explodes as soon as Raven's iframes disappear. But it is the first boss in the game that we actually see their health drops as a building.
But you know, with guard mode and everything, it's a joke, so no problem.
And that was really well timed. Didn't miss a single grenade. Nice and fast.
Well. Like, so usually we had in the old route many more of these chaff grenades. But because what we did now with the nuke building and the stun, we don't grab these anymore. So for this room, only one time we can use the chaff here to distract these turrets. So next time we're gonna go just into God mode again, which is technically a little bit slower. But it's worth it overall. Oops, I light down for that.
One of the disadvantages of the PC version having the loading screens complete almost instantly is that you hold X to skip the cutscenes. And if you're still holding X after the cutscene has ended, then you will immediately prone when you regain control of Snake.
Come on.
So a couple of times during the run where we actually have to make sure that we're holding other buttons at the same time, or only tapping X to make sure that we don't put Snake into a prone position.
Yep. And Chad already says, wait up, it could still be that I'm getting the rat. Just to inform you, I have 9 alerts, and in 2 seconds I'm gonna have 10. And after we get out of the room, we have the 11 that we need. So that's a cool thing, because we don't skip these stuns anymore. We can get extra alerts here and there in case we're short of them.
Snake.
And now, off to get the Parky. Yep, we're good to go.
What those 11 alerts have done, if by the time House gets to this point in the game, if he had less than 11 alerts, during the cutscene that he's just skipped, Ocelot has shot the PAL key out of his hand, and it falls down into the drainage ditch. 10 alerts or less, and a rat will spawn and eat the key, and he has to go and find the rat and kill it. But 11 alerts or more, and the card appears in a random location in the ditch instead. And it is less frustrating, and in some cases quicker, to grab the card key from the ditch rather than trying to kill the rat.
Yeah.
It can appear in one of 7 locations.
Exactly.
So we're hoping that the RNG here is going to be nice to House.
We'll do it for charity. Yep. Ah,
Wait,
okay,
that's
third
not a
best
bad
one.
position.
Third best one. I like that.
That's some pretty good RNG right there.
Yep.
At the very worst, you can lose about 30 seconds there if you get really bad RNG.
Yeah. The segment can take from 26 seconds to 56. Everything in between. So this was all rather on the lucky side. And now it's just on to deliver the keys. 3 of them, different heat stages. The first one is the normal one at room temperature. Once again, I don't want to shuffle around here. Basically, if you equip and unequip weapons, Snake doesn't make footstep sounds. But it's also a little bit slower, so when I throw these stunts, it basically just puts the guards off and we're good to go. Since I'm a bit short on stunts, I need to do it for this one segment and then we're good to go. Because even if we literally walk right next to a guard, he looks a little bit further down below. So we just sneakily walk past him. Now it's time to clue the key.
So welcome to the main portion of the Metal Gear Solid any % run. This is the point in the game where in order to deactivate Metal Gear Rex, Snake needs to take a PAL key, which is made of a memory alloy, which means it changes shape depending on the temperature of the key. So when he first gets it, it's yellow. It is the normal room temperature PAL key. So he inputted that into computer number 1. Now he has to go and freeze the key to turn it into the blue key. In order to do that, he's got to backtrack all the way to the warehouse, so back to where he fought Raven. And he's going to have to wait in there for 1 minute and 1 second.
Mm-hmm. No second less. Because then you go out and see, oh, the card is not cold. And you need to go back in and do the whole 61 seconds again. So you don't want to mess that up.
So if we've got any messages or anything to be read or talked about, now would be a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't got any more donations at this time, but we do still have some more bid wars on some upcoming games as well. We have the Fire Emblem Awakening for either Spare or Kirima, and then we also have some great name choosing for Pokemon Red later today. So get on that. We'd love to see some great donations. Plus, this game is just fantastic. You guys are doing fabulous. Just thought I'd interject that because I'm really enjoying this.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm also having a lot of fun. Right, time to go.
As Hal said at the very start, the PC port of this was made by about 5 guys, and they did not get much support from Konami to do it. And as a result, this is a terrible port. It's a really, for a casual player, if anyone said they wanted to just casually play through Metal Gear Solid 1, I would say get yourself a PS1, get yourself an emulator, just play the PS1 version, because this is awful. But for speedrunning, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the time differences between console and PC version of any %, because especially of these tricks that we can do with God mode, is I think like it's an hour on console and like 37 minutes here on PC, roughly. So it's quite a lot.
With some of the optimization that's been done to the all bosses routes on PC in the last few months, the all bosses route on PC is now faster than the any % route on console. So that gives you an idea of just how much time save there is with some of the quirks of the PC version of this game.
What's also interesting is apparently the sounds and music for this game had to be downloaded from fan sites, which is why sometimes pieces are missing or not complete. Thankfully, we have in our community capable people that do tools for us speedrunners, and also one that patches the music in here, which is important later if you are not having a timer on. There's still an audio cue that we can listen to in order to notice, like, did we spend enough time in order to change the PAL key state. And the problem is we want to listen to that rather than checking ourselves, because every time when we open the menu, the timer does not continue for this PAL key state.
And also, every time you open a menu, the in-game timer, which is what the run is based on, continues. So every pause, every time you open the menu, you're wasting time because the in-game timer is still going.
Yep. I wish it would be the other way around. Perky continues and IGT stops. Imagine what a world that would be.
So for some reason, they decided to put some extra guards in this room as you come back through it again, and their patterns are really, really poor, so you can just run straight around them.
They put 3 people in this huge warehouse, and like, I think it's not enough. Like, even on alternate rounds, if I quickly want to talk about that, alternate round is something that was released with Integral, which is basically a re-release of the game. So basically, if you finish the game once, you can load it in a save and continue this basically as New Game Plus. And guards have different routes. And even then, in this warehouse, they're still free. They work a bit different, and especially for the speedrun, we need to take a few different paths. But it comes down usually to the same time. Like, almost. When Nick and I can talk about what we know, because I'm the world record holder for very easy any % alternate round, and Nick is the world record holder for easy alternate round any %.
To be honest, that's not really through any level of skill on either of our parts much. It's more that alternate round is a bit of a joke, so no one does it.
Yeah, like most of these runs only have D-Limes 30 out there, and he just basically wanted to have every world record for Metal Gear Solid 1, so going alternate round was basically, okay, I guess I'm gonna do a run. I still think it's fun, and I love to do more in that as well. Just to have a bit more competition going, not just one person.
So we're continuing the big backtrack. House is on his way to the blast furnace. He's now going to heat the key. Again, same time again. He needs to wait in there for 61 seconds for the POW key to heat up. Indeed.
Do we have a moment for a donation?
Naturally, please.
Now would be a perfect moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a £5 donation came in from Theory. Lessons when, House? Laugh out loud. Good luck on the run.
Yeah. Talking about lessons actually and how to learn the game, if you want to learn this game or any other of the Metal Gear series, of course, join our community at MetalGearSpeedrunners.com, where we also host events, where we have like relay races, so 2 teams playing different games and compete in them game per game. And of course, there's also tutorials. We have a large wiki where you can go in and learn. We're a very large group also, and all of them fantastic people that I can vouch for. So if you want to learn how to play this game or any other, definitely join MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. And the Discord. Very important. And yeah, lessons from my side can be gotten on twitch.tv/housestest. And if you want to see how Nick is doing, well, go to Nick Upper Green on Twitch. Woo. Woo. And there we go, that's the 61 seconds we need. And if you also want to see even more of us, next week, I asked before, it's okay, we are going to be at UKSG, also on Sunday, on the afternoon for the Europeans. And he and I will do a race against each other, but not in any %, in the actual good category, the big one, all bosses on PC. So if you want to see that, also tune in for that.
It's going to be a great race. Can't wait.
I haven't played all bosses in almost a month. I learned 3 in the meantime. I learned Metal Gear on MSX. I need to get back into the groove. I will be fine. It's only you I'm racing.
Hey, I PB'd yesterday.
Yeah, 1 hour, 1 minute and 18 seconds, I think. That is 32 seconds faster than my PB right now. So I gotta get back on that.
Yeah, don't you forget it.
We'll write it down. Personal vendetta, Nick.
Okay, so we are now coming up to the very final section of the run. We have a little bit more waiting on the elevator here, and then going to go and put in the red POW key, and that is going to deactivate Metal Gear Rex.
Then game over.
And Snake will have saved the day.
Yeah, looking forward. It's been a long run so far, right? Imagine there would be even more after that. Oh.
We're going to meet some chick called Meryl as well.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. We've not seen. We've not really seen anyone else.
Yeah, Oslo is like, yeah, if you don't do this, I'm gonna take the girl. I'm like, which girl? What are you talking about?
Girl.
I don't know. Ah, the wonders of any percent. We don't even know what we're doing here, really. What do we mean, Baker? I don't know anyone, Baker. Actually, yeah, okay, we're good. I wanted to 100% make sure I have enough ammunition.
Ammunition? What for? We're going to go and deactivate Metal Gear X. You're not going to have to fight it or anything, are you?
No. Do you always know, as the Chinese proverb says, you can never have enough stinger ammo. Somebody. Probably.
I'm going to have to check which thinker said that. How's taking out his frustrations on the ladder there? The ladders in this game are... The ladders in this game are finicky. It is very easy to just punch a ladder instead of climb, because the button for punch is the same as the button for climb ladder.
Yep.
It's very easy.
The action button.
Thank you.
What do you mean, thank you? Detonation code is completed? What? I guess we've been bamboozled.
You deactivated it. But you deactivated it.
What is happening? Why are we trapped in here with gas?
So Snake has been tricked throughout the entire game. The terrorists told him that that Metal Gear X had been activated and that he needed to put the PAL key in order to deactivate it. In truth, it was never activated. It was never activated, and by putting the PAL sequence in, Snake has now activated it.
Liquid! Snake!
Best line in the game.
Did you like my sunglasses?
I did.
Did like his sunglasses.
Alright, I guess we gotta fight Rex. Yeah.
And just like Raven, House has already activated GME. He's completely invincible, and he is free to just sit here and time his stinger missiles. Oh, one was a little early there. It's basically wait for the explosion to end.
Now, in front of you.
And then fire the next one. Unfortunately, this cutscene is still unskippable. Well, technically, it's not a cutscene.
We could skip it, but not for the category we run in.
In Very Easy, we can skip this because Very Easy doesn't have an end game score screen, so it doesn't have an end game time. So as a result, we use real time for Very Easy. And if you Alt Tab during certain sections, you can skip dialogue, but we're not allowed to do that. So again, starts phase 2. House has activated GME. It's just going to time his stinger shots.
There we go.
And it's all good.
Alright, I'm gonna take my headphones off because I need to focus. Nick, they're in your hands.
You win. You might
Okay,
still
so
be able to say
this is actually the only boss fight in the game that we do normally. There's no GME, there's no skip, there's nothing else. It is, but it is also one of the trickiest fights in the game. What House is going to be doing is he's going to be timing his punches so that he doesn't do a punch-punch-kick and just continually punches and get Liquid into a position where he is locked in place. He's going to do this by throwing Liquid twice to get him into the right position, and then starts the combination. And this is looking very, very good. So if you see, every time Snake hits Liquid, he moves backwards slightly. So if you just went up and started punching him, eventually Liquid will move backwards far enough so that Snake can't punch him anymore. By getting him in this position, he's completely locked in place, and that is absolutely perfect. That was fantastic. Well played.
Woo. Happens more often than not that I mess it up in the end, but today's not the day.
House made that look very, very easy, but trust me, it takes a lot of practice to get that down that well. Because if you lose that combo or you don't set that combo up in the first place, then you've got to try and recover. You've got to try and get Liquid into a new position where you can start it, and it will waste more time. There are different setups that you can do. There are a couple of slightly quicker setups which are more difficult. But now we are on the final stretch. This is the escape All House has to do is get to the end of this big long corridor, kill all the enemies that come his way, and he'll be free.
Okay,
Finally.
Snake, let's go.
No more surprises. I mean, Liquid fell off Rex. He's done for. So it's literally only the guards, right? Very easy.
As Liquid said to you, at this height, it would kill even you.
I mean, the twins after all, right?
We'll never make it. Snake,
Good shot twice.
There's a little bit of RNG here with whether these guards shoot you. The first shot that you took was actually very good because it immediately got him into position to start shooting the middle guard. Oh, someone's following you.
Not yet, Snake.
It's Liquid!
He's not dead yet!
Not over yet.
Still not dead!
That dude's more durable than Duracell.
So this final section, there is a certain number of shots that House has to make on Liquid. And there's a few transitions. That's the first one. He gets both shots. That's really good. It's actually getting those two shots there, just as Liquid moved over to the left-hand side, is actually quite tricky. But getting those two in there means he only has to do 2 shots in that really thin tunnel section rather than 3, and that's a big time save. That was really well done. He's got another transition into the next phase here. It's the first shot and the second shot. This is a really nice escape. This fight can be a little awkward because Liquid's hitbox in this sequence is really weird. But this is looking really good. And that's it. So
Quick info, time is coming in roughly 15 seconds when score is on screen.
So when you see the word score,
Get ready. Thankfully we can skip everything. Time! Decent. 41:06 for saving Meryl. That was Metal Gear Solid on PC, 80% easy, Meryl ending. And the timer didn't stop on my end, but that's fine. And that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, my name is Housestest. With me was Nick Green on commentary. Again, next week at UKSG, we'll also do a race against each other in all bosses in the same game. If you look forward to that. And of course, if you want to learn how to run this game yourself, join the Metal Gear Speedrunners community at metalgearspeedrunners.com, and especially join the Discord, a great group again that I can only shout out. And if we don't have any other words from backend, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Next up is another great game.
For having us.
Yeah, and especially thank you for Thunderthon for having us. A great honor and great pleasure.
And GG, that was excellent. Thank you for having coming to showcase this in first place. We appreciate you guys coming on and showing us how amazing this game can be on the PC. And so thanks again. And we're just going to move on to the next game here that we're going to have shortly. So hang on real soon and we will get right to it.
Bye-bye.